Look who's back with us now, former National Security Advisor to former Vice President Mike Pence. He is retired Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg. Okay, let me put it right to you. You're a straight shooter. We love talking to you. Is the White House ready for this? Two geopolitical crises possibly happening at once in rapid succession. China invades Taiwan and Russia invades Ukraine. Both countries are allies. They speak to each other. There's a lot of saber rattling on this coming out of both. What do you say?
Yeah, Liz, first of all, thanks for having me. The answer directly is no. And here's why I say no. It can be, but what they've got to do is parse both of them. When you look at Ukraine and Russia, this is a European Union problem. This should not be a United States problem. We're trying to make it one. They're not a member of NATO. They're not even part of the European Union. But this is in Europe's backyard, not our backyard. But Tony Blinken is kind of trying to draw us into this, and we should stay away from this as much as we can. I don't think Putin wants to go into Ukraine right now. He doesn't have the troops attached to do it. He's only got about 100,000 troops there on the border. That's really enough to invade Crimea or maybe go in the Donbass region. But when you're talking about invading a country, you're talking 300,000 or 400,000. He's not there. He's playing inside of Biden's head. I think the real focus of the administration should be on China. And China is the real adversary. They're a multidimensional threat. They're an economic threat. They're a cultural threat. They're a military threat. They're a geographic threat, and we're a Pacific nation. And we should focus on that and tell the Europeans, okay, you own Ukraine. That's your problem, not our problem. We'll take the Pacific. And if we focus in on one issue, I think we'll be okay. But if you try to do both in a crisis situation, you diffuse your efforts, and it doesn't generally work well.
Well, what if they both act at the same time? I mean, China and Russia, again, are now more bellicose. China's hypersonic missiles, you know, 5 times faster than the speed of sound. They can go all the way around the world and drop missiles anywhere. I mean, how do you defend against that? And then you have, you know, basically Taiwan is saying, listen, it's a fact. This is an issue. We are concerned that there could be possibly action earlier next year and what China could do is just seize control or invade an outlying island off the coast of Taiwan to ramp it up. And then, you know, you've got Ukraine's top military intelligence official saying they believe Russia's positioned to invade at some point before the end of January. Basically, U.S. intelligence is debriefing European counterparts on this. This looks like it's coming up.
Yeah, I don't agree with the European question. That's a European problem again. I keep forcing it back to them. And they know the number of troops right now to do something unless it's a limited incursion on the eastern portion. Again, I want to focus in on China because that's the real threat to us. They're the emerging threat that I see for us well into the future out there. And you're right about the hypersonic missiles. We don't even have a defense for that. But this is the reason why during the Trump administration, we even went to Japan and we said, change your constitution, change Article 9, make sure you have a good military, not just a self-defense force. We maybe need to look at China and we say, you know, maybe we ought to go back to the two China policy, not the one China policy. Or better yet, why don't we just recognize Taiwan as an independent nation? And then we move to the south, into the South China Sea, and we look at our friends in Vietnam and we park another carrier battle group in Nha Trang or someplace down there. We need to push back on the Chinese and tell the Europeans, this isn't your backyard. Look, 50% of Russia's economy is based out of Europe on the European Union. They have got huge leverage. Instead, what do? They sign agreements to get 80% of their power, natural gas, from Russia. They're just folding to Russia, and they shouldn't do it. This is their problem. China's should be our problem. I would recommend to the national security team, focus in on China.
We hear you.
Tell the Europeans you own Ukraine.
You know, Taiwan is pushing back on Henry Kissinger. Henry Kissinger is saying that China's not going to invade or attack. Taiwan's Foreign Minister Joseph Wu is saying wrong. It's a fact. This is a reality. We're worried about it. China could just take out one of offshore island off the coast of Taiwan and start small that way. Even Australia is saying that this is a looming crisis. Your final word, sir.
Yeah, we need to be very aggressive with China, and we haven't been out there. And I think in a way maybe Joe Biden is compromised. But we need to be verbally very aggressive with him, and we had to be militarily very aggressive with him. I mean, here's what I'd do. I'd actually call to the 7th Fleet and have the 5th Carrier Battle Group led by the USS Ronald Reagan and park them in the middle of the Taiwan Straits till they stop flying overflights into the air defense identification zone of Taiwan. But we have to take strong actions, and we haven't.
Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg, happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for joining us. Thank you for your service to our country.